All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mixtape Show, Interviews with Legends podcast, man. And as you guys know, we use this segment to give the legends their flowers, let them, give them a little space to kind of talk about what they got going on, learn about their history and their contributions to the culture. And this week, it won't be any different, man. Checking in right now, we got the first lieutenant of the legendary Flipmode Squad. We got the leader of one of the illest DJ coalitions out there. We got one of the illest DJs in general out there and businessman overall, man. You guys know him as the legendary Rampage, joining us here in the Mixtape Show. What's good, my brother? How you, man?
What's going on, bro? Let's get it. That's a hell of an intro. I like it. It's a lot of things. It means that I'm working and I'm staying busy.
Man.
God is so good. So
yeah, we just tipping the iceberg, man. You definitely contribute a lot to the culture, man. And I definitely wanted to give you those roses and flowers, man, because some people just do the music and they kind of go away. But I view what you're doing right now, man, as you're in your third Hall of Fame career right now. And
wow.
And you and on top of that, you're giving back to the culture too with the DJ coalition. And
right.
I know you do stuff on the record exec side. So we'll get into that, you know what I'm saying? But let's start from the beginning, man. Growing up, brother, in Brooklyn, man. What was the soundtrack? Yeah. What was the soundtrack in your household? What was some of the joints that you remember growing up singing and dancing to and all that?
So big up to my dad, man. I gotta big him up and big up to my mother. So big up to Wolfie and big up to my mom. Mm. So my mother, me and her used to go walk to the record store, and first record I believe that she bought was on a 33 12-inch. Mm-hmm. Was Jasmine, what's her name? Jasmine Guy, somebody else's guy. That's her name. Mm-hmm. My mother bought that. She had that banging. My father, he had that Slave banging.
Yeah.
He had that Earth, Wind and Fire banging. He had that GQ banging. Mm-hmm. He had them Isley Brothers banging. He had Brother Johnson banging. Mm-hmm. These are all records that I remember, but I was young too. And I remember taking a pencil and scratching his records up. Thought I was doing some real scratching, but I kind of fucked them up. So sorry, Daddy. You know
we all did that though. Don't touch my records, and we did it anyway, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So. And I know you came up for me, hip hop was kind of already established, but I know with you coming up, hip hop didn't have a name. It was just, a cultural thing that was, shifting and creating a thing, man. Talk about that, man, when you was coming up and hip hop was developing and all of that. What's some of the things you remember about that era?
Well, coming up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, I had a lot of influences, the UTFOs, the Houdinis, the Full Force, Howie T, the Whistle, Puma, Little Sean, Chub Rock, Izzy Ice. Now these was all, everybody that I named is either close to my block or around the corner from my block or 5 blocks away in a 5-block radius in Flatbush, Brooklyn, East Flatbush. Then let's not forget Special Ed, who was right around the corner from me, and me and him used to battle all the time. So even though some of the times he would win. I'm just playing. But, that's how, being around the greats, that's how I became great. Yeah. And also I had a cousin I grew up with, which is Busta Rhymes, and, watching him making moves and being there when he was making moves. And, we growing up as kids, in the 80s, 81 and 82. And, what I'm saying? I was 8, he's 12 at this time. And the God is studying his mathematics and listening to battle tapes on a little box. And the first thing I got introduced to was Busy B versus Kool Moe Dee. That was the first thing I ever heard as far as hip hop. And I gotta salute my cousin for playing that for me. He had it on, I remember him having on a TDK tape at that time. And we was on the box. we was on the block playing Skelly and doing all those type of kids things, stealing bikes and everything. So that's BMX bikes too. At the TSS.
Yeah, so, man. And that era, man, it was a little bit different back then coming up. It's kind of like you had to know a producer who was already kind of established to put you on, or another MC. Right. Or you just did it the old school way. You just battled everybody on the block, and then you moved on to the next block, and you moved on to the next borough.
I had some great people around me, but I got to big up to my big brother, Special Ed, because, you know, him and Buster, they definitely pushed me. You know what I'm saying? And pushed me to be Rampage and pushed me to be my own type of MC from the same area. You know what I mean? So I gotta give thanks to both of them brothers. And then my cousin is Dane to Dane as well. So he was the one that actually set it off for the family. And, you know, and he's my cousin through marriage. So again, he's still my cousin. So, you know, I had a lot of influences just growing up. You know what I mean? Then I had a cousin named Rob who was really, really into the rap, and he taught me about bars and how to write bars and stuff and how to format songs. Because at that time I was just this Roger D person. That was my rap name. Wasn't Rampage. Smoker's cough. Smoker's cough.
You good?
No COVID. You know, and that's weed, not cigarettes.
Yeah.
So you know, just watching my cousin Rob going to these studios, and the first producer that I ever saw was a dude by the name of Fresh Gordon, which is at that time that was Gordy Groove, and also he was producing Hawaiian Sophie for Jay-Z and Jazzo and a couple of other people, you know what I mean? And going to Gordy Groove's house, this is my first time witnessing a studio, and we didn't have Pro Tools, they had DATs. So my cousin Rob had got a session with him, and Rob knew him, and Rob was working with him. And that was like really my first experience meeting a real producer. So the first producer I ever met besides Howie T was Fresh Gordon. Fresh Gordon was also the one that was one of Herbie Lovebug's homeboy. And he was actually, I believe, the one that was playing the pianos on Push It, the Salt and Pepper. And when I went in the house, I saw a Push It Gold 45 hanging in his studio. And I was like, that was the first gold record like I ever saw. So big up to my cousin Rob for definitely, you know, and instilling certain things in me and showing me, and then I never knew that the studio was so many hours ever. And back then they was recording on DAT tapes. So I got to witness all of that. And then, you know, being around a couple of local MCs, you know, big up to my friend Phantasm from Cellar Dwellers. He's also another one that lived right around the corner from me, who introduced me to Lord Have Mercy. And Lord Have Mercy lived on Special Ed's block. So he put me on with Lord Have Mercy, and then I put Lord Have Mercy in with the squad. So we'll talk about that. But big up to Lord Have Mercy, who's the voice of the 10 Commandments. So big him up. You know, at the end of the day, you know, just growing up in the West Indian community, you know, early, late 70s, early 80s, and then into the 90s, you know, being a kid from Flatbush, Brooklyn, I was just influenced by the West Indian culture. And, you know, half of my family is Jamaican. So, you know, again, you know, having them vibes and seeing my parents work and seeing my mother get it in and seeing my dad get it in on the music. And like my father is a real guitarist. And my father played a lot of guitar for a lot of bands during the 70s and the early 70s and the 80s and stuff like that. And, you know, by him, he used to work downtown Brooklyn being a salesman. And his partner that he was a salesman with is my godfather, which is Aaron Hall. So again, I was always in that musical environment. Regardless if I didn't want to or not, I was always in the musical environment. I was just always around and, you know, listening to Yellow Man and listening to Jimmy Spicer, who was also, I was listening to back then, and Super Rhymes, and you know what I mean? All those Super Spurs, and, you know, I'm at Buster's crib and we got the vinyl and he got the Curtis Blow. I remember him having Curtis Blow the breaks. Then he would play Super Spur by Jimmy Spicer. Then he would play Super Rhymes. Then we go play pinball. He had this digital pinball machine. Then they had the tabletop Miss Pac-Man, and we was playing Atari 2600 at his. He had the Atari the Atari 5200, and I had the Atari 2600. But the 5200 was better. So this is us as kids growing up.
Yeah,
we still in his basement. He playing full drums. Buster plays drums. A lot of people don't know he really plays drums. So we in his basement. We got a clubhouse. His clubhouse was really, we had a clubhouse. So his basement was our clubhouse. And in his basement, he used to have old guitars, bass guitars, just a whole bunch of equipment. So a lot of that played the role on, us putting a lot of things together as a group. So, I want to big him up for definitely believing in this baby cousin. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't it wild when you look back on that kind of stuff, how when you was in the moment, you didn't know what you were doing. You was just doing it.
Nah.
But it literally is like the foundation of where you at now. You know what I
mean? Yeah,
it
was fun because, again, I remember it like if it was yesterday.
Yeah. And similar to that, man, my uncles and my aunts, they were like in the family kind of band kind of thing. And they were some bad out in Far Rock, where they used to play everywhere in Far Rock. And the only thing that was their crutch is they didn't know how to write the music. They know how to sing the music. They couldn't write the music. You know what I mean? Right. So it's kind of like if they had that somebody in the crew that could say, that had the idea of like, hey, let's start writing our own music, it'd be cool. But it was always cool to see them do block parties for back to school stuff or do functions and all that stuff and see that energy that they brought, man. And
it's funny that you say that. So Rob was the one that introduced me to the bars and stuff like that. Then I had a cousin, DJ Playwright. We call him Wonder though. And Anthony's from Howard Avenue in Brooklyn. Now he was the cousin that everybody went to his house because his moms and his dad bought him everything. Yeah. When I tell you everything, he had all the most cartridges, he had the turntables, he had the mixer, he had the Gemini, the small Gemini with the Gemini turntables, the gray turntables. He had the Technic 1200s, and he had all the vinyl. So all the cousins would go to every weekend. I would just go to Howard Avenue and sit in my cousin's room, but he had everything. When I tell you he had everything, it was just a fun room to go to. I didn't even want to leave. He was also my DJ at the time, and we would just make demo tapes. And I would just make demos. He would just find break beats, and I would just rhyme on them and kept rhyming on them and kept rhyming on them. That's how I got better. You know what I mean? And then, now I'm getting better. I'm developing. I'm on Howard Avenue on the weekends. And I'm, because my family was originally on Howard Avenue, but we moved from Howard Avenue to Flatbush, Brooklyn. So I still have aunties and cousins in Howard Avenue, and that's my favorite cousin. So he's DJing. He's showing me at this time. He would let me just mess around on the turntables. Then one day, 2 years later after that, my mother bought me a set of turntables. So now, everybody at my house now. Got my 2 turntables. I got my bike. Got my Mongoose, my M1. I ain't have to steal it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo. You know what I mean? My mother blessed me.
Yeah.
Now I got a mic. So now, but I'm DJing really hard before, I'm watching my cousins and them, they doing their thing. So I'm between rapping and DJing. But I always liked DJing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay. I could do both. You know what I mean? Whatever I put my mind to it, I could do both. Then Phantasm from Cellar Dwellers, and one of my god brothers, Bayham, he just passed away, so R.I.P., says to me, they hooked up with a local producer named Backspin the Vibe Chemist. Now, in my neighborhood, there was two people that had big studios. One was Howie T, and the other one was Backspin. So they put me on and said, yo, you got to meet Backspin, because at this time, these two had jobs. Phantasm wasn't Phantasm from Cellar Dwellers. It was just Chris. I know Chris, but that's Phantasm. So Chris would come to my house. Everybody would come to my house. I was like the kid that they would come to my house, hang out with. I was friends with everybody, no matter if they was fighting or whatever. I would just be the neutral one that everybody would hang with. I never picked sides. So weed cough. So Phantasm, I believe he was going over to Backspin crib to do demos, and he would come back to the block. We'd be in the park about 2 a.m. playing ball. We'd be in the park. He'd come by playing this shit on the box, playing the demo from Backspin, recording, because Backspin is making the beats. Then I would try to go to Howie T, and Howie T, big up to my OG Howie T. Yo, Chief, you not ready, Chief. You know what I'm saying? He said I wasn't ready yet, but I got in the door with Howie. But he never recorded me because, again, at the end of the day, I was really young. But I was just curious because I just thought that he was the only studio in my neighborhood. But I was wrong. And then one day, Bayham was like, yo, I need you to come with me to the studio. I'm over at Backspin for 2 hours. So I'm over at, I'm just sitting there just being, just listening. And I'm like, I'm amazed. And Backspin was like, yo, you need to kick some. I know you got some raps. I don't know if he was playing with me, but, I just kicked something. I want to say some weeks later. So Phantasm and other rappers in the neighborhood, they would have jobs to go pay Backspin, so they would have studio time. They all had jobs, and I ain't never had no jobs. So one night, Backspin got my number, and he was like, yo, come to my crib. Because I was always cool, so I came to his crib. And then that's when Backspin first put me on tracks. Because then he had the tap scan board at that time. And he had the little 1-inch reel-to-reel joint.
Reel-to-reel, yeah.
Now, while I'm going to Backspin crib, I'm seeing RZAs and all these people going in inside of his crib. Every time I went over there, it was either MC Light, Link Q, somebody coming out of his house that I'm like, damn. And these are all the people that I used to watch on Video Music Box. So I kind of knew Backspin was a big deal to me. Like, he was big to me. So I'm over there just making demos. Now, at this time, I didn't know Backspin was producing Leaders of the New School. Right? So about all this time I'm growing up and stuff, Bus moved to Long Island. So I kind of lost contact with my cousin because they moved to Long Island. And it was one time that I went out there, but I still lost contact. I want to say when Party Machine was out around that time. You remember Party Machine and all that stuff with Mia Peoples, and I seen Leaders of the New School on Pump It Up.
Yeah.
So I told my dude, I told my dude Bayham, I'm at his crib. We eating 4 chicken wings, shrimp fried rice. We ran upstairs to watch Pump It Up. And then we watched D Bond. That was D Bonds. So I see these 3 dudes on Pump It Up. And I'm like, yo, that's my cousin right there. And my man Babe's like, yo, that ain't your cousin. I said, I swear to God, that's my cousin. Right? And I was like, wow, my cousin really made it. I'm sitting there bugging. I was just tripping. I was like, if he made it, then I'm going to make it too.
Yeah.
Speaking things in the air, right? So one day, Backspin was producing Leaders of the New School, but he never told me. At this time, I was recording demos. And it's funny how the world works. So this Backspin in the studio, I guess Busta Brown and them was over there looking for beats for an album or whatever. And he was playing demos. I guess he was mixing one of my demos when they came. And Busta one of them said, yo, who's that? He said, this is the kid from the neighborhood, Roger Rampage. Now I'm Roger Rampage, right? So Bus was like, yo, this kid sound familiar. I know this kid. Trust me, Baxman, I know him. So Baxman said, I'm gonna play you some more joints, G. Cause I know I wasn't there, but I know that's just how he get, yo, he got more joints. I'm working on this joint. I'm trying to get him a deal.
Yeah.
Right? Baxman said, so Bus was telling Baxman, these are stories they was telling me. Bus was telling Baxman, I know this person. So one day, you know, I'm still on the block, it's summertime. It couldn't be no more than 12:30 at night. Baxman was like, yo, come to my crib. 911 hit me on the beeper. I got to his crib. Nigga, Baxman, I told you that was my cousin, you bitch ass nigga. And ever since then, I've been on.
Yeah, even Rampage was that when Rampage was actually born? I know you said he was.
Yeah, that's. Hey, listen, I ain't turned back since. All I did was listen.
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to Leaders of the New School shows. I was meeting Tribe. I'm in the middle of that shit in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm seeing the scenarios. I'm there where I'm seeing the daylight shows. Now I'm like, remember, I was watching Video Music Box. Now I'm close to this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm traveling on the road with Leaders of the New School. And I'm going on tour and with Leaders of the New School because they opening up for Public Enemy and EU and Stinky Dink out in DC. These are my first. I don't know what a show is. I didn't know what a groupie was. I didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
I was just a roadie. I was a roadie, carrying stuff, making sure, you know, just learning, just soaking up game.
Kind of learning the protocol of things, right?
For a couple of years, just learning and just watching, going to all the shows and, you know, just being a hip hop kid, man. And I'm just enjoying meeting all these people and seeing the Tupacs. I'm seeing all of these brothers. When I tell you I'm seeing them, It's official. Leaders of New School had that shit on lockdown. Yeah. Big up to Brown, big up to Milo, big up to Geronimo, big up to Dinko D, Busta Rhymes. Them niggas had it on pop. You hear me? Everybody wanted to rock. Yo, I'm at a show with Brand Nubians and Leaders of the New School at this time in Jersey and Nauru. Understand, my G, that show was fucking incredible. But remember, I'm still in the beginning stages and I'm still learning and I'm soaking it all up. So at this time, Busta was like, yo, just be patient.
Yeah. And
all this time, when he was telling me be patient, he wanted me to see some things. I seen the ups, I seen the downs. I understand. I never been to a record label before. Now I'm at the record label. So I'm seeing how this process works. Bus took me to the record label. First label I ever went to was Elektra Records. First A&R I ever met in my life was Dante Ross, who signed Pete Rock and C.L. Smooth. He signed De La Foca Homo Sapien, KMD. He signed Pete Rock and C.L. Smooth. They signed, a lot of people was on the lecture, Brand Nubians, and then they signed Cuba for a solo. So I'm in the mix of that shit. Still, I'm learning and soaking up game because I'm going to all the shows. I couldn't be no more than 18 or 17. Then I'm seeing Special Ed back on the block. Then, you know, this is 89, 90, Special Ed is popping. He pulls up in the red Passat. Every shorty on his top because he had curly hair. There was a lot of shit going on. Like,
yeah,
this motherfucker Special Ed come around the way it was a green and a black jacket that said Profile. I thought that shit was a Nautica jacket or some shit. Right? So back then he was calling me Roger Rabbit because everybody know me from the neighborhood. But you know, that's Ed, man, you know, again. But he always would test me and be like, yo, let's battle and bust my ass and leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, there came a time it wasn't no more busting no ass. That's my OG. But there came a time you had to sharpen up your skills. And I guess he was doing that to sharpen me up.
Yeah.
And I tell more of that if you go on his Unsung, he'll tell more of that, how me and him used to go back to back. But he was another one that was preparing me. That's all that was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you talk about, like you said, growing up in the West Indian family, man, that's always, like you say, family, right? Culture, family. It's everybody moves. You could be the third cousin, but you still family, and everybody kind of grooms everybody to, like you said, look out for each other so everybody could be successful. So you had that bubble, you know what I'm saying, teaching you what to do and all that stuff. And
but I was just watching, you know what I'm saying? I was just being a fan. You know what I'm saying? I was just being a fan, and I just wanted to rock out.
Yeah.
You know?
So after kind of learning the game a little bit, you got the call, man. You got the call to be on one of the hottest remixes, you know what I'm saying, of all time. You know, I don't know.
Before that, I being riding with Busta all the time and stuff. And there was a time, big up the Bushwick Bill. Bushwick Bill wanted to sign me. He was another dude from my neighborhood. So that I was real cool with. And I used to hang out with Bushwick Bill all the time. So R.I.P. Bushwick Bill.
R.I.P. Yeah.
And Bushwick Bill would tell me a lot of things about the game too. Cause again, he's also a yard man. And he's also, he's a Brooklyner, and he's in Houston, but he's originally from Brooklyn. He's from the South. So, again, me and Bushwick had a relationship. Bush was like, yo, Ramp, I want to sign you. But that shit didn't happen. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. But that's always been my OG.
Yeah.
So come to find out, Buster was like, yo, I got a production deal with Dallas Austin. Yo, you and Cracker Jackson, a couple others is going to be my artists. I was like, cool. Boom. I couldn't be no more between 17 and 18. I signed with Rowdy Records, Dallas Austin, Claude Austin, Rowdy Records, Arista, distribution to Arista. First record I put out was Beware the Ramsack, produced by Rashard Smith. Pick up to Rashard, Ringo Starr. I got a chance to put out my first record, by, just listening and learning.
Now, was this the time when Atlanta was popping off too? And that was kind of like that merger thing was starting to happen? Yeah.
That's when I first seen Outkast. They were signed to the same distribution. Biggie was signed to the same distribution. We were just on different labels. They was on Bad Boy. One was on L.A. Reid and them label. Outkast was on that LaFace. I was on, but everything was running through Arista.
Yeah.
So, and then, after that, still grinding the success. I say it was my success. That was my first one, because now I'm on BET. Now I'm on Video Music Box. I made it to Video Music Box. I thought I was, it, because again, everybody locally was on Video Music Box. You know what I mean? And I always wanted to be on video. Now Ralph McDaniels know me now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a kid from the neighborhood. He was always in the neighborhood, but damn, now I'm on Video Music Box. I can't get enough. I can't stop. These are the packets. Now I'm going to the lyricists, lounges. I'm being friends with the Guru, R.I.P. Guru, seeing Premier and all these dudes. You know what I'm saying? They had it cracking. Wild Pitch was on. I'm going to these label parties now. I'm meeting the Bill Stephanies. I'm up at Rush Artist Management, because leaders were signed to Rush Artist Management. I met a special manager, a special brother, Chris Lighty, who was up there just doing the business for the leaders of the new school, working for Rush Artist Management. I would see comments. I would see Fat Joe. I would see Fat Joe, Common Sense, everybody at the Rush building. I see Big Daddy Kane. He roll up. He on his Playboy bunny, purple with the flat top, you know what I'm saying? And Big D. And I'm seeing all this. I'm exposed to all of this shit. I'm seeing all this shit at a young age. I'm seeing the Leo Cohens. I'm seeing the Russell Simmons. I'm seeing them going into the building. I'm seeing shows being booked. I'm seeing money. Motherfuckers is making money. Tribe, Daylight, Leaders, Native Tongues, Black Sheep, every Chi Ali. You know what I'm saying? I seen all of that. I'm sitting there like, whoa, I want in.
Yeah.
Scenario come, I want in, bro. I seen Hood. I seen all of this. And all I had to do was just listen and watch.
And then it was time to shine, right? Time to shine off the mic and go for it.
Man. Man.
So Flavor in Your Ear drops the remix, right?
Nah.
No. Well, before you had Busta had a solo run.
Before that was
Ransack,
yeah. Flavor in Your Ear, and then I monstered them with Wild for the Night.
Wild for the Night. One of those joints that everybody knows.
So actually, I got 3 rings. I got more than that, but yeah.
Wild for the Night comes on. Everybody knows that joint. One time, it's MOP like, right? When you hear the certain, right. You know what I'm saying, the party right. starts and all that kind of stuff, right? And then the Flipmode drops. So when the Flipmode drop?
Nah, they didn't drop till some years later.
Years later, so, that was in formulation though. That was kind of starting to build that piece.
After that, Flavor in Your Ear is the Coming. I'm all on that Coming out, right? Then after the Coming album, then my album comes. Then a Raw Digger, then Flipmode, and then all of the Busta Rhymes and all the other stuff that I was on.
Yeah, and then in between all that, the features are going back and forth and all that stuff. And you guys are building
all of that is
building the
off.
Brands and all that kind of stuff.
All that's popping off. But actually, we were actually touring heavy. Just off Busta and Flipmode. We was always on the road, like constantly. Like we would never come home but twice. We had passports, my passports. I got like 6, 7 passports, man, stamped up. I've been in every country, every place, every UK. I've been everywhere, like rocking shows. I'm like, y'all know my verses? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
so take me to that. Take me to that, man. You're not in Brooklyn no more, and you overseas in the UK somewhere, and you get on. Well, we'll say Japan because the English is a little different out there. So, and they singing back with you. How's that feel, man? When you hear that?
Let me show you. I'm in Japan with Snoop. I performed one night. Snoop performed the next night. My dude. I did Wild for the Night in Japan. Shit got hectic.
Yeah.
They was slam dancing. I could tell you so many stories.
Yeah.
Every time I perform that record last, shit get out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't matter who's your favorite artist. Just records like that, when it comes on, it gets brutal. I remember performing North Carolina. I think Akinelli was on the bill. And I think Mac 10 was on the bill, but I don't think Mac 10 showed up, but Akinelli showed up. So before I rolled up on my tour bus, the promoter came out and gave me my money and told me to leave. He just came out and just gave me my money and told me to leave. And I said, why? He was like, nah, you can't. It's overpacked. It's overpacked. I said, yo, how the fuck you invite me all the way out here? You booked me a show and I'm on a promo date out there anyway. And I'm not gonna have my fans not see me or me say anything. I said, yeah, I got the money, but let me say what's up to the fans. So when I got there, that shit was packed to the stage. I mean, tight pack.
Yeah.
So, whole bunch of ladies in the front, right? So I guess, at that time, I'm moving around and I'm on a promo tour. So my record, Take It to the Street, that shit is killing in the South. Ladies knowing it back to back. They seeing it on BET all day. They ain't never seen me. I came to perform that shit. They went fucking bananas. And they singing it. So I said, yo, doing this for the ladies, I'm going to do this song for the ladies. But he told me, do not do Wild for the Night. I said, how am I going to do this record and not do Wild for the Night?
Yeah.
So all I remember is this. So I was, man, fuck this promoter. I said, Wonder, put that shit on.
Yeah.
I seen them take this fucking girl and threw her ass to the back. Like she didn't fucking matter. That shit got hectic. I hope they didn't sue me either. I don't know about that. Hey, all I know is her head went into the speaker. That's all I
You came to a ramp show. It's gonna be a ramp show, right?
That shit is gonna get That shit gonna get hectic, my G. Yo, you know what I'm saying? So
the catalog, bro, is crazy. When you was, because you was mentioning earlier how Flipmode, y'all were going on tour. It's kind of like a Wu-Tang thing. You could have everybody in the crew and y'all could just be on a tour by yourself. You're gonna shut it down because you got the individuals and then you got the crew as a whole, man. So I can only imagine just that energy that you guys keep up on a night-to-night basis like that. That's some legendary hip-hop shit right there, man.
Well, you know, there's a lot of groups out there that got records, but far as performance, they can't fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not disrespecting nobody. I just know when it comes to, let's not forget who got the 99 Source Awards for best performance. Flipmode Squad. Let's not get it fucked up. The original Source Award. Let's not get that fucked up.
Yeah.
So even the Source recognized we are the best crew when it comes to the performance. So again, Busta Rhymes in itself and Spliff is some old other shit when it comes to the stage. So it doesn't matter who performs. It doesn't matter if you got hits. If you coming on, if they come on before you, they're gonna drain that motherfucking crowd. You know what I'm saying? And they still doing it now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, at this minute, at this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, man, shit get brutal when my squad is in town. You feel me? Don't matter who's it really doesn't matter who's performing.
Exactly.
When we do our shit, it's gonna be totally different. And we're not doing it with the vocals in. We doing it raw vocals. Only thing you gonna hear is the hook and the ad-libs. So we can hear where we at with the song. But everybody on my team, we not doing no vocals in the fucking song. If you don't know your song, you don't need to get paid.
Absolutely.
So that's how we play. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. And speaking don't playing, man, you still doing the thing right now. You got your mix show that we play here on our station on Monday nights.
How is it doing out there? How's
it doing great, brother. It's doing great, man. We got you as the captain of the Mix Squad Monday crew.
Word.
Yeah, you anchor.
What time do I come on? What time?
10 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern. So you're probably gonna be jumping on here in just a little bit on air as we're recording this.
Okay.
So I got you linked up as the anchor. We got a bunch of up and coming DJs prior to that, but then you got a prime time slot where you know what I'm saying. So you got that doing the thing on that, man. That's syndicated on a lot of other networks. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I know you got the DJ Coalition once again, giving back to the artists, giving back. To the DJs.
So one thing. Let me salute MJ and let me salute DJ Will Money. For helping me put the Heat DJ Coalition together. We're like 30,000 strong for real. I service 30,000 DJs across the country. You guys and every other digital station, big up to you for definitely having the Mix Show Madness on your platform. Like I salute you guys, and it's only gonna get better because you about to get about 90 more mixes this week.
Yeah, I get that bulk email from MJ. Like, here you go.
I'll be on it though, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, stay consistent. That's what I love about it.
And I play shit motherfuckers are scared to play.
How
many? Seriously, if you listen to my show, how many records I played that nobody hasn't played in a long time or can't find?
Yeah, it's been the ones that if you haven't played them in a while, those are the joints that they didn't even play back then because they were scared to play it. You know what I'm saying? And then you play a lot of the new joints too. I know a lot of the artists that you break through the coalition too, they get some spins on there too. So it's dope, man. It's dope, man. So as an artist and a DJ, how important to you is for that coalition to be running on the right, you know what I'm saying, the right wheels and stuff like that? Because that's a big major part of the culture. You got to have the DJ and the artist have that relationship. So
without the DJ and the artist, there's no you as a music person. Because if you're not a rapper or DJ or a producer, you're not considered relevant. How are you going to put your music out? You can't even talk to the digital station to get your record played. You got all this money, but you can't get paid. And somebody going to take your money and get you because you don't know the business. You have to know the business that you're getting in. Me, I like to break new artists, fresh artists, because I like the rawness of the game. I don't care if you're doing trap. I don't care what you're doing. If you give it to me, I like it. I service it. That's just it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to steal nobody no wolf tickets. You know, I'm not trying to beat nobody pockets. But, you know, again, having a strong coalition is great because, again, I could take a young boy from any part of the world or a young chick, any part of the world, and take their record because it's hot, or I seen it on the internet and I could just post it or I put it in the mix. It's not they asked me to, it's because I believe in the artists. I still believe in artists. You got to believe in the artists that came before and after you. You have to believe in these artists. You have to teach these artists, because if you don't teach them, they're not gonna know.
Absolutely. And you still got the record exec thing going on too? Is that still in play for you?
Yeah, I still got the record exec thing going, and I got a lot of things going.
Yeah, you got water.
I got the water. Yo, big up to my Splash Drip water team. Yeah, my dude TJ Super Hype. You know, I got into water because, again, we in COVID right now, man, and you know, we don't know when they're gonna cut the supply off, but when they cut the supply off, Splash Drip is gonna definitely be ahead. I remember when the last time the COVID was hitting, the waters was about $1,000. But I just want to let everybody know, the new website is coming, so anybody will be able to order water anywhere in the world. And also, I'm starting with Splash Drip. I'll probably be the first to do it. Whereas, let's say if you don't want to leave your house locally, you can contact us and we'll drop the water off to you and deliver it to you in the case, so you don't have to go nowhere. So, you know, we working on some things with Splash Drip H2O.
Kind of like Sparklets. Remember Sparklets used to come to the crib back in the day?
Yeah, shit like that.
The jugs and shit like that.
Just like that. Yeah. Let's just say you don't want to come out your house and you want to order 8 cases. You just go on the app. Within an hour or two, we're gonna pull up.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, real time. I like that. Man. Sneakers. You got the shoe line going, right?
Oh yeah. Hold on. You know, right. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
You know how I do it. It's these are the rated R's. These are the black and red joints. Hold on, let me turn this on so you know it's not the Jane. You see that?
There you go.
You see that?
I like that.
You see that? You see that? You see that? You know, I tell her, you know, I'm into designing sneakers. It's my new company, Rated R Empire. And you know, I'm into everything, as you can see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I started this company because it was just time for a new change. Everybody's running the Nike, Adidas, Pumas, Nikes, Adidas, Pumas. But, you know, Patrick Ewing's and cool. But it's time for those rated R's, man. It's time for them rated R empires. You know what I mean? Let me start branding celebrities, basketball players, spelling bee champs, you know, boxers. Got a couple of boxers that want to wear the sneakers. I got a couple of actors, you know, just, again, I just, you know, I've been in the game a long time. So outside of music, you got to have other things going on or you're not considered relevant. So again, I'm into the athletes wear. I'm into the, you know, just building my empire, my G, you know what I mean? So I got sneakers, water, marketing company, branding company, I'm getting into television and film right now, music executive. These are all the things that I built from being Rampage, the last Boy Scout, and being connected and staying relevant, even though when times you don't see me, just making good investments and doing good stuff with my money and taking care of my family.
Yeah. And as a consumer, I view everything that you're into, it makes me smile as a consumer because everybody loves a new fresh pair of shoes. Right. Everybody loves music. So when you make music, people love the party and dance. So that's your DJing thing. You know what I'm saying? The marketing thing, you're helping the next generation of people get their business together and work on their brand and stuff like that. So you're giving back, man. It's full circle. You know what I'm saying? You started off where you were learning the game and now you've, you know, as a veteran, picked up these things and you turning around and you giving it back, you know what I'm saying? And you giving back to the people and you creating jobs for people, man. And that's definitely what it's all about, man. And I salute you for that, man. And thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you. And I got to send you a pair of those I gotta send you a pair of those too. You just gotta hit me with your size, and we get you rocking.
I got you. I got you. You know, we'll rock that.
You know, again, it's like if you don't reach back, then your career drowns. If you don't touch others, then your career drowns. If you don't share the knowledge, then you lose. I also teach school. I teach the 5 elements of hip hop. You know, I'm syndicated around the world. I'm also on iHeartRadio officially.
Congrats.
I'm on your station officially. So, you know, yo, where's Rampage? If you're not tapped in with Rampage, you wouldn't know. But as soon as I do $100 million in sneakers of water, now you want to know who I be. That's not right. You should just always follow your entrepreneurs. You should always, you know, tap in with, you know, understanding what investments are, understanding how to read these contracts. If you don't know how to read these contracts, make sure you want to be in the game. Get you a entertainment attorney, not a homeboy attorney. Stop hustling backwards and pay your taxes. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Take care of the man so you can stay off your back, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely, man. So let me ask you this, man. The Central Hub, man, what's the best way we can follow what you got going on? Is there a website? Is there, you know, social media? How can we?
You can follow me. You can follow me on Instagram at The Real Rampage. You can follow me on Instagram at Rampage, the Last Boy Scout. You can follow me on Instagram at Heat DJ #1. You can follow me on Instagram, Mix Show Madness. Instagram, Facebook, Roger Rampage McNair fan page. Nice. That's it. That's all I really do, man.
There we go.
And TikTok, and you can go back and buy all my hip hop catalog from Flipmode, buy all Busta Rhymes album. Make sure you get that extension level event 2. That's everywhere. New Busta Rhymes project. Also, I'm on that too as well.
Yep.
So, I forgot to say I got new music coming. The When Hell Freezes Over, Part 1 and Part 2. That's the name of my new joint. And I'm whipping ass for whoever wants it. Just a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, I gotta thank God for just being alive. Absolutely. To tell you my story. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely, man.
We here, man.
I'm glad, like I said, brother, I'm glad to be affiliated with the show, and just, you know, our sister MJ always speaks highly of you, man. And it's always dope to see what you're doing. And I love watching you grow your empire and build it, man. So any way we can help.
And she's helping me, and big up to my sister MJ, because she's helping me as well. So I just want to shout out a couple of people, man. I want to shout out Money Green Marche. I want to shout out Felony Music. Also, just to let everybody know, I got an app out to help kids that's bullying. So everybody go download the bullying app, correct? The Bullying Buddy. I got an app called the Bullying Buddy that helps if your kids are being abused, talked to wrong. This is the app for all my parents, all my hip hop parents. I need you to go get the Bullying Buddy app. I'm definitely gonna be talking about it all week on my social media.
Nice. Yes, definitely. Yeah, man. I'm MJ has all that information. I can get that from MJ, because we can put it on our social media and spread that too. Definitely.
I will send you the link. Make sure you download it too.
Definitely, brother. Definitely, man. Well, Rampage, man, it's fun having you on here, man. I appreciate you coming on, spending this 50 minutes with us. It's the door is always open, you know, saying keep sending those mix shows, and we definitely gonna keep blasting them until you just don't want to do it no more, brother. The doors it's gonna always be open.
I got about 100 more coming.
There we go. And I tap in someday. I do be on some of those DJ calls too whenever I'm not on the air live.
This next one is at the end of the month, so
okay,
definitely jump on. I'm trying to get the OG Curtis Blow on the call.
Nice.
I'm working on Kool Keith on the call.
Nice.
I'm working on the Alcoholics on the call.
Ooh.
I'm working on. It's gonna get.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna. Yeah.
It's gonna be like that.
Like everything in business, is best to get in on the ground floor, right? When the things are getting
you already in, so you family, so we're gonna take it. So
definitely.
I big you up and thank you for having me, man. I salute you.
Not a problem, man. Thank you, and like I said, thank you for your time, brother. And we appreciate you, legend. And the door is always open, and we're gonna keep giving you your flowers, man.
Yep, we rocking. Mix Show Madness right after this. No, you haters, fix your face.
Fix it. We'll be right back.